EnglishSimmer here, and I'm back with one of my favorite types of videos, and that is giving ideas or hopeful ideas to the Sims 4 team, because we are in a new year. Obviously last year we got the Spa Day refresh, which honestly felt like a weird choice to refresh. I do think they probably chose it because it is one of the game packs that was like lacking, especially in comparison to like newer game packs. And so I can see why they chose it, but I don't feel like it was the most popular game pack. So I decided, why not record a video? I always do these at the beginning of a new year. I've recently done packs that I'm hoping for in 2022 and also updates that I'm hoping for in 2022. I'm not gonna go through like every single expansion and game pack. I've kind of already done like a thorough list of game pack refreshes, which I will link at the end of this video. These are just the 3 packs that I really do think would be great to refresh this year, and I can hopefully give a bit more information as to why I would personally want the refreshes that I want. And the first one does happen to be a game pack. I think it's the most underwhelming game pack in my opinion. However, I also think it's the game pack that has the most potential, which is so annoying to see so much potential in a theme, the destination, and I love it, but oh my goodness, does it fall flat every single time I go to play it. This may be on my mind because I do currently have a spellcaster in my cottage living let's play, but it is of course Realm of Magic. That magic realm, she needs a glow up. She needs a little bit of help in 2022. Also, before we get into all of the grimy details, I know that these are very hopeful. Whenever I do a video like this, I literally push it like the furthest that I could possibly push it. I know probably not even half of these are going to be in a refresh. If we have a look at the Spa Day one, I do think the Spa Day one was pretty interactive. I actually really liked it. So fingers crossed Realm of Magic can just get some life pumped back into its veins. I think one of the biggest things of Realm of Magic, one of the biggest letdowns, is that kids can't actually use their magic. If your spellcaster has a child who also in turn is a spellcaster, they can't do any magic. They can bind a familiar to them or like have a familiar, but that's about it. I just think it would be super cute if like toddlers for one could like accidentally use their magic. So like say if they like sneeze or something, like there could be like sparkles that come out of their nose. Kids, I do think, should be able to use magic. Obviously, they're not really going to be like trained in it. However, I do think they could be. I think your kids could go to the magic realm and there could be like a little classroom in the headquarters or in the greenhouse that looks amazing but isn't actually used. Hello? But what if your kids could like sit down in a class with like Morgan Ember, and then Morgan would teach them how to like start controlling their power, and they could actually start to learn spells as a kid. Just more spells in general. I feel like a lot of the spells that we have are like cheat based. They kind of help you clean up, they help you with like plants and stuff, which is all well and good. They're very handy to have. But I do feel like we should have more spells. I always say Realm of Magic fell flat where Vampires did it very well, in the sense that in Vampires you had 3 kind of distinct personalities when it came to the vampires, which was definitely helped by their lifetime aspirations and also the traits and weaknesses that you could collect whilst being a vampire. Sages and magical beings don't do that. Spellcasters all feel the same, even though they have different types of magic. And whilst this kind of relies on your imagination, I do feel like there could be better spells to distinguish between different paths of magic. I think there should be risky spells. I think you should be able to like kill Sims. I think you should be able to like set things on fire purposefully, not just by doing like a scrubberoo and it going wrong. I definitely think there needs to be more danger. I think it would be really cool. There's like a potion to make people fall in love with you, I think. Don't quote me on that. But how how cool would it be if your sim could like cast a love spell on someone, but it backfires and therefore they become like super obsessed with you and they just want to text and call you all the time and they're like constantly coming over to your house. I mean, we pretty much already have that in Eliza Pancakes, but like, what if it was actually a functional part of the game? Also, like putting the curses that your spellcasters and your vampires can get, I feel like you should be able to put those curses on other sims. What if you were able to like turn objects into sims or turn sims into frogs like you used to be able to in The Sims 3? Speaking of that greenhouse, it needs to be unlocked. I do think they could add a fourth Sajin for potions. I think that could be super cute, and I do feel like the greenhouse could be used either to teach kids magic or used for a potion master, maybe. Or maybe they have like little mischievous fairies who like float around the greenhouse. And finally, familiars absolutely need updating. Familiars are such a disappointment. I remember getting a familiar and I was like, this is the cutest thing ever. And like our Sims can interact with them, but they really can't interact with them all that much. As soon as a mod was available to add more interactions to familiars, you bet your ass that I was right on that. And it actually felt like the way that they were supposed to feel to me. They just feel so underbaked, and I honestly will never understand why. I think you should be able to like actually talk to them. I think you should very much be able to build a relationship with them, like at least. I think they should take like what you can do with the small pets. I know that we get in My First Pet stuff, we don't talk about her. She should not be a shining example of what a pack could do. I think you could like ask your luck and they can either like bless you with good luck, they could bless you with bad luck for the day. I think they should be able to help you with a spell going better or worse depending on your luck. Maybe they can like tell you the weather, you should be able to pet them, you should be able to feed them. The second one is another game pack, and whilst I don't play this one all that often, Outdoor Retreat was the very first game pack that we got in The Sims 4, and again, it just needs help. I think that we should have swimmable water, and I also think maybe, I don't know if they would ever do this since technically it's a gameplay feature of Snowy Escape. However, they have taken apartments and put them into other packs since City Living. I don't know, let me know how you feel about this one, but adding like hiking trails, because like Granite Falls feels like it should have hiking trails, but obviously that didn't exist until Snowy Escape and Mount Komorebi. I definitely think there should be more outdoor activities such as archery. I absolutely adored the assault course that came in The Sims 1. I remember living in the Grunt household and I would have those teenagers do that assault course every single day. I absolutely loved it. And I think that could be really cute for like all ages, obviously not toddlers, but like kids and above. Rope climbing, like trapezes, there's so many outdoor activities. Like literally, Sims team, I'm gonna give you a heads up. Google Robin Wood. It was like an activity thing that a lot of English kids, I feel like, went on trips to in like year 6, and they had like piranha pools, and there was just so much that you could do that was like outside, like BMX tracks and stuff like that. I just think there could be so much more. We obviously got scouts in seasons, and whilst I don't want to take away from that, I do think that maybe if you have seasons, or maybe it's like a differentiated scouts, perhaps like an outdoorsy scouts, but I think your scouts could actually go on trips to Granite Falls. They could sleep in like little bunks, in cabins, in tents. They could do all of those activities and just basically gain survival skills. I think it would be so cute for kids and teenagers to actually be able to go on like outdoor retreats. It's in the name.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
I do think that we should have placeable spawners. Obviously, we got a lot of them in The Sims 4 Cottage Living, which like kind of activate bugs and special effects, which is really, really cool. I think those should be unlocked for Granite Falls and Outdoor Retreat because herbalism is amazing. I absolutely love it as a hobby. I really enjoy the skill, but I do not use it half as much as I could because you constantly have to travel to Granite Falls to collect all of the ingredients, and most of the time, I don't want to do that. I would love it if your own played Sims could become the hermit, like they just get promoted to the hermit in Granite Falls. And I also just want the woods in general to have more danger. I always say it, but I always want my game to have more danger and more risk. And The Sims 4 is so happy-go-lucky. Make bears actually be able to kill you. And finally, an expansion pack. I don't think I've ever talked about like an expansion pack refresh, but I think in my personal opinion, the expansion pack that needs help the most would have to be Get Famous. I really like Get Famous. Yeah, Del Sol Valley is small. It was a letdown when it first came out. Yeah, a lot of the townie houses are missing toilets. I still can't believe that that's a genuine thing that we have to say. I hope when we get the townie refresh that we're getting at some point this year, I hope they finally add toilets into their houses. And honestly, I would say bans, but one that feels kind of like a cop-out, and also two, I kind of want a bands game pack. I know, I want like either a stuff pack or a game pack for bands. And I've talked about that in my pack once of 2022. I definitely think that an update should come for drones, and I do also think that we should have like portable vlogging cameras. Like how cute would it be? This takes me back to The Sims 3 Generations. It was one of my very favorite things about The Sims 3. But you could like record, and I know a lot of people used it to like record their toddlers' first steps or first words or like a birthday. Just like something to record your game as a sim, and then they'd be able to put it on a hard drive and you'd physically be able to watch it on your TV. So you could watch what you had just recorded in game on TV, and like that hard drive could be passed down through the generations so that when your kid was like all grown up, they could see themselves having their very first steps. Why do we not have that in The Sims 4 for drones or a vlogging camera? Also, drones don't work when you're snowboarding or skiing. I got so annoyed during my Snowy Escape Let's Play. I wanted my sim to be an outdoor adventurer slash vlogger, and I went to have him snowboard and he couldn't record himself on the drone. I know one of the biggest things that people want to see when it comes to Get Famous is an expanded world. Del Sol Valley is absolutely a letdown. Like even the Hollywood Hills, it only has 3 lots. I think that should be bigger. I think we should have like 5 lots at least. And then I agree with pretty much every other simmer on the globe when we say we would love to see a beachfront. I've seen a lot of people say they would want like kind of cheap-ish apartments on the seafront. On the map, we actually have like a sea and sand, but there's no property there. And I definitely feel like they could fit some apartments and then also like 3 or 4 houses on there. And whilst I absolutely adore the actor career of Get Famous, and you can technically make music, you can produce music, it's not an official career in the game. I would actually love to see a proper like active music career. I know I said I don't want bands. I feel like those could like tie in well together, but I think just like being a singer-songwriter and like actively going to record your songs in a studio, like we kind of already have all of the stuff that we need for it. We just don't have it as a proper active career. And speaking of careers, I think there's so much that could have been done with Get Famous. I feel like it was nice that all of the careers could basically earn you fame in the game, but I do think it kind of missed out on some of the careers that could have been added that would actually make sense for that expansion pack. We have the stylist station. So for example, when you're getting changed for a character role in the actor career, or you're putting on a wig and makeup, they have that chair. Why not just make it so that can be like transportable, so your sim could maybe be like a freelancer hairstylist or do makeup for a living, where they could go around to sims houses and like change their looks up. That would be so sick, and I know so many people would love that. And I also think that they could maybe reuse that chair and actually allow you to be a tattooist, or at least have tattoo parlors in the game. They were a thing in The Sims 3 Ambitions, and basically your sim would like sit down and then it would just take you into Create a Sim and you can slap a tattoo on, and then they kind of had like an animation afterwards, and then it kind of like poofed, I think. Anyway, from what I can remember, and your sim would have a tattoo. I definitely think the reputation system needs a rework in a refresh. I absolutely loved being able to spread rumors in The Sims 3. I really, really miss it. I really think that like the reputation system is cool, but it's not strong enough. Like I feel like if you're caught cheating outside, that should be a celebrity scandal. Like your reputation should like absolutely deplete from that, and I think rumors could start. I just think that definitely needs to be tweaked. And finally, I think pets and kids should also be able to have acting jobs. Yeah, not a full-time career. I'm not here for the child labor, but who here hasn't locked all of their kids in a room and like made them paint for hours on end? That is absolutely something that we've all done in our lifetime of playing the game. I can't say I'm proud of it, but I've definitely done it before. However, why don't we add in working laws for children and pets and allow them to not become famous, but I think it would be cute if they could have careers. That was actually a thing in The Sims 2 Apartment Life, I think it was. Those are my 3 main packs. Honestly, if we're gonna rank these, I think Realm of Magic is my number 1 because I love it, but it falls flat for me on so many levels, especially when I travel to the Magic Realm. Then I would put Get Famous because again, I feel like it was such a good pack, but it just needs that tweaking and like more stuff added to it for it to really feel like your sim is getting famous for all the reasons that they should be, or maybe shouldn't be. And then finally, Outdoor Retreat. I think I'm putting that one third just because I don't use it that much. I do feel like if these refreshers were to come, I probably would use it more. But again, it is just a vacation world and I don't go to them all the time. I think I feel sorry for it because it is the very first game pack that we ever got. So let me know. Let me know what you thought of these ideas. If you have any other ideas for the packs that I mentioned, I would absolutely love to hear them. I think you lot are so creative when it comes to giving feedback. And as I always say, this is a really good time for like you lot as the Sims community to be heard and seen. And if I ever get the privilege to be asked like, hey, what are the community saying right now? How did they feel about the Spa Day refresh? What do you think they would love to see in a refresh maybe down the line if we were to do one? I can say to the Sims team, hey, I have a whole video about that. You should check out my comment section on it because people are really fucking cool and they have a lot of ideas. And if I didn't mention your favorite pack that you think should have a refresh, let me know what you want for that as well. But thank you all so much for tuning in. I love you all and I will speak to you all in my next one. Bye now. I'm so out of breath. Also, I did just realize that I've had my guitar in the background this whole time. I promise that's not because I was talking about a music career. I am just trying to learn how to play guitar because I realized that my brain hasn't been switched on for the last 2 years and I should probably learn a new skill to kind of get the juices flowing a bit.